Next, we jump to private extension. That's the mark we made. And right here, we add a method. Notice here I got an error. So if I click on the error message here, it shows that value optional explore view header view must be unwrapped to refer to member label location to wrap based type. And in order to fix that, so we need to make it a non-nil or false unwrap using exclamation mark abort. So I'm going to follow this one here. I will go back to check my header view right here, and I'm going to change this one to optional. So add it. Now you can see I don't get an error now, so it's disappeared. So I fix it. I want, yes, right here. So let's see what we have done so far. This unwind, this unwind action method, it will be assigned later to done button in location screen. The source, sec source, is the location view controller. That's what we're doing here, location view controller. And the destination view is explore view controller. And first of all, we want to check whether the source view controller is location view controller. So we check it here to see if it is a location view controller. If it is true, then we get selected city. Let me make it a little window a little bigger. Selected city property of the explore view controller to it's set to location item instance installed in the selected city property of this location view controller. And we also check the selected city. We send this value to a temporary constant location. If it's done successfully, then the full property of the location instance, this instance is a string containing the name of the city and the state. We assign the value to the text property of the label location property of the header view. And that's what this unwind location done does. And next we go to collection view. View for supplement. View for supplementary element of a kind. Jump to this method right here, and we make a little change here. So first of all, we want to change the name of this variable to header, not header view, change to header. And then we add extra line of code here. Say header view equals to header as the explore header view. This method is one of the data source method declares in UI collection views data source protocol. It returns the view that will be used in the collection view section header. So here, the collection view section header in the Explore scene is set to Explore header view. So we set the header that we created here as a Explore header view. The header we created here is a collection view DQ reusable supplementary view, and we converted it to Explore header view, and we return header view. Next, let's open the storyboard, and let's open location. And after we open location, open location view controller, and let's open the navigation item, and then open right bar item and click on done. Then we control drag done to the scene. Now you can see the action sag dialog box pop up there, and we choose unwind location done with sag. And you can see the sag is added here. Unwind sag to unwind location. Now let's test it to see how it works. So run it. And now you click on location. And if you click on any city here, you can see the check mark added here. That's what I want. And click done, come back here. But look at the location here again. When I click on done, the check mark is gone, and it also allows me to have multiple selected. I only want to make one selection. If I choose any others, for example, if I choose anything right here, all these should be deselected. But now it asks me to have multiple selection. When I click done and come back here, all the mark is gone. It doesn't remember anything. So let's fix these two issues. And now let's go to location data manager, which is right here. And at the very end, we add a method find location. This method takes the city name, and it searches the location array for matching city. We start from the first one, where the city is the matching city. If it finds it, then we give it to, if we find it, we return true. And the index where the array item is stored in a single value is returned as well. So we return true and return the index. And we can access to each of those values using the label it's found or position. So that's what this method does, find a location. Next, let's go to the location view controller. And right here, we go to the very top. right after the view did load, we add another method here. Set selected cell with UI table view tab type and at the position index path. So the function takes a cell, which is the table view cell, and the index as the two arguments. Condition: if the city, if the city, the selected city is set. If it is, then we call find a location. So if the city is there, we find a location. So it means if you select the city, because you remember you go to location, you click on or you tap on each cell, then the city is selected. So if you do select it here, then we call find the location by the city. So use the city as a key to search. And the find location returns a tuple, which is the true, a Boolean value true, and the index from find location. So if it's found, if we found it, return true false from the find location. If it's found, then we get a position. Get a position here. And pass it to the row of the index path. So we know which one selected. And the check mark, dot check. Because when we click on it, remember there's a check mark there. We saved it to the accessory tab of the cell. If nothing selected, then we put a none there. So that's what it does. If no city is selected, none, accessory tab equals none. And then if this is the case, the check mark will not be set. And notice here we have the two else block the same. Cell accessory type none. Cells. This is the condition to see if the position is available, and if you do select one in the table cell, then we save the check mark. If not, if the position is not available, then we do not set the check mark. And there's another condition here. If you do click on the city, and the city matched to the city that in the JSON file, then we save the city, found the city, save the city to the data. If the data is found, then we check to see we want to, if the data is found and it's in a table list, table cell, index is found, then we save the check. If the position is not available, means it's not in the list, you click somewhere not in the table cell list, then no check mark is returned. So there are two checks that we're doing here. The first check here, if the city is found, means compare the city that you select with the data that we saved, then we do this process. If it's nothing, if the city doesn't match to the JSON file, then don't do anything. Then we don't set anything. If the city is found from the list, then we save the city. And then if the city is available and the list, if the table if because remember the table is in vertical, and we click on a cell, and if the cell position is available, then we save the check mark. Otherwise, nothing's set. Next, let's jump to a method table, function table view. And right here, we add one more line. Set the cell at the index path. This means the set will be called for each row in table view, and the check mark will only be set on the row containing the selected location. So set selected cell at the selected location index. Now let's test it. So go run, location, and click again. Notice here when I click one, the other one will be disabled. So I click on this one here. When I click on the next one here, you can see that the check mark is disabled. Only one is allowed, and that's what we want.